Good evening and welcome to Orange Audubon's monthly educational webinar. This month we're featuring the Feathered Friends curriculum, and we're glad that you could join us. Our mission at Orange Audubon Society is to promote public understanding of and interest in wildlife and the environment that supports it. Also, part of our sponsorship is the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, whose mission is to interpret and conserve the Earth's biological diversity through research, education, and citizen science focused on birds. And as part of the Cornell Lab, they have a K-12 program, and their mission is to create innovative resources and training that'll build science skills and inspire young people to connect to their local habitat, explore biodiversity, engage in citizen science projects. They do have a lot of resources, so I will be sharing their website a little bit later, but do check out. They have a lot of curriculum resources, and they do offer educator training as well. The Cornell Labs programs are designed to engage your students, to get them to explore their environment around them, and which will lead to inquiry, scientific inquiry. Why do we use birds? You might look around and say, I don't see birds. But once you and your students start to really think about and look for birds, you're going to find birds pretty much on any campus. That's the nice thing is using birds as a topic for science study, is because birds are more easily found than most other animals. So tonight we're going to talk about the Feathered Friends curriculum. It's a download. It's free. You will have an opportunity to get 4 free bird feeders for your classroom. And it's a very easy to use curriculum. And here's the structure. Each month has a different topic. You can mix and match. If you are teaching a particular topic at a different time of year, you can just use it whenever it's best for your scope and sequence. But each month there's a bird of the month, there's a literacy connection, there's an engage section, an explore section, inquiry, a little section with some fun facts and things for students to do at home. And here are the core ideas and the standards that go with it. So this is all standards based, and it will blend right into whatever you're being required to teach at your school. It'll meld in really well. And each month has a big idea and the learning objective. So it's right there. You can see how it fits into what you're already teaching. And it's something that'll be of high interest to the students and something that they'll be able to relate to outside the classroom. Here's an example literacy connection. This was on Duck Pond. This one has to do with habitat and needs of living things. And actually, if you click on this when you're in the website, you can actually get activities that go with the book too. So they have those connections as well. Every month has ways to engage your students. Now, these samples I'm showing you are from several different months. This is not just from one month. So this is from the habitat lesson. And this just gives you different ideas of things, questions you can ask to get your students to engage into the topic of habitats. And then there are suggestions on how to get your students to explore the concept. So I'm going to show you an example right now with habitat of having your students just draw a simple map of your schoolyard, maybe a place on your PE field or something, or where you go to recess. So if we take a look at this, here's a sample that students did, and then you can use this as a talking point to talk about the different components of habitat. There's also suggestions on how to extend learning, especially enrichment for your students that need that extra enrichment. You'll have ideas of things that they can do. Home connections are included. So this is the lesson that's about, ways you can help birds. And it's got a home connection about ways to do things at home, such as, recycling, reusing things, reducing your use of certain things. And it gets them to think about that. Cool facts are included. So this was the lesson on migration and has some interesting facts about how do birds find their way. And there's hands-on activities for each month. So this is something you can print out, send home, and here's a bird feeder that they can make. So for all these resources, you're going to go to the website, www.birds.cornell.edu/K12/. You can also just Google Cornell K-12 programs, it'll come up. And so when you get to their home screen, you're going to click on the tab that says lessons and activities. There's a lot of other things too, but that's where you're going to find this curriculum. And then when you click on lessons and activities, they have it by grade bands. The Feathered Friends is under grades 3 through 5. Of course, you can modify this and bring it up or down some grades, but that's where you'll find this particular download. And after you clicked on grades 3 to 5, you'll see a free downloads section. So you click on that. And then you'll find Feathered Friends. You'll see there's some other things in there too. You click on Feathered Friends and it will download these lessons for you right here. And if you notice, there's a thing below that where you download it that gives you, so if you click down here, you're going to get extra resources for each lesson. So that might be something you don't think about, but go back after you've downloaded the lessons. So the next slide will show you what that looks like. So here's extra resources and links for each lesson that go along. And for example, here, there's little things you can print out, like on the October lesson about identifying birds in your area. This is a little PDF poster you can print out for your classroom to show them some common birds. And here's how you can get 4 free Pennington window feeders for your school. So when you go to download the lesson, right below it, you'll see free Pennington window bird feeder. Okay, and if you click on that, and these only offered, they have to go to a school. You cannot have it sent to your home. And when you click on that, you will you get 1 set, and you do have to pay shipping and handling, but it's still a really good deal. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I use window feeders, and you have a really good chance to attract some birds right to your classroom window, which is so exciting for the children. All right. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. And while we're waiting, we'll go to the next slide. Our next webinar is October 11th, and we'll be going over Audubon Adventures, which is another great resource that just dovetails into what you're already doing. It's very high interest, and there's a lot of things on the website that actually students can do as well. So be sure to tune in for that. Tell your friends. And then we'll go to the next slide. And here's my email, education@orangeaudubonfl.org. If you have any questions, need help with this resource, feel free to email. And I'm not seeing any questions. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, or if you're watching on YouTube, I hope these resources are useful to you. I'm sure they will be. I've used them in the past, and I hope you tune in next time. Thank you so much for joining us.